What's going on, everybody? It is your boy, Baddog, back with another freaking live stream. It's been a while since I've done one of these where we just kind of hang out. I don't even remember the last time I did a live stream where it was just kind of like a hangout and kind of talk about whatever. A few things, obviously. I actually want to plug this, so I have to go here really quick. Hope you all having a great week so far. It is Tuesday. Tomorrow is hump day. So, you know, the week is going by. It never goes by fast enough. The weekends always fly by. And, of course, the, the freaking weekends fly by. The weeks seem like they take forever, especially this time of year, especially when the Giants don't play for like 11 days. And, it freaking sucks. But it is what it is. I hate it. And just remember, tomorrow night is a big one. The NFC East Superfriends get together. We do it every last Wednesday. I should say we do it the last day of let me start this over again. We do a live stream, me, Lord Brunson, Louis T, Law Nation, the NFC Superfriends. Every month. It is the last Wednesday of every month. We're going to do this. Last time we did that big crowd, huge crowd, actually, and we didn't have any football to talk about. Now, obviously, we do. We have football to talk about. You're not going to want to miss it. There is the link right there, so make sure you subscribe. Giants fans, you're going to need to come over there. You're going to need to let Louis T know what's up. Ask him what's up with blocking all the Giants fans in the stream because he couldn't take the fact that they got their ass whooped when he was making fun of the New York Giants for losing 40-0 and then losing 30-12. Thought that was a big joke. And then we saw the joke that was the Commanders who got beat 37-3. And when Giants fans went in his stream to let them know, well, they were promptly blocked. So I want you all to go over there tomorrow and let them know we will not be silenced. You ain't going to silence me. I don't forget stuff like that. I let it slide the first week when Dallas beat us. But the second time, it's like, okay, the old school Bad Dogs are going to come out with Commanders, know where it's at. So that's what I plan on doing. But it's always fun. And obviously, we will chop it up. The Commanders and the Eagles do play on Sunday at 1 o'clock. I plan on streaming that one. I was going to stream the Eagles last night, but I went to bed at like halftime. I was tired. So I'm like, I'm not going to do the night game. But 1 o'clock on a Sunday, it's usually when I'm doing the Giants anyway. Commanders Eagles should be a good one. I don't like either team. So I figured why not stream that? We can hang out together. We can watch it and laugh at one of them. And then pray that we win on Monday because, listen, the New York Giants got to win this game Monday. There is no question about it. You saw what Buffalo did to Washington. You saw what Miami did to Denver. After Seattle, we fly to Miami. Then we fly to Buffalo for another primetime game before coming home to play the aforementioned Commanders and then the Jets. So you want to somehow, some way get out of this 3-3. The first 6 games are absolutely brutal. It included a West Coast trip, a short week, and 4 primetime games against 4 really, really, really good teams. 4 of the best the NFL has to offer, maybe 4 of the 5 best. I don't know if the Cowboys are probably 7th. Like I said last night or whenever I did the stream, was that last night or was that? I don't even remember if that was Sunday or Monday, and I don't remember when the hell I streamed last, but it was Sunday. I do think it was just a blip on the radar of the Cowboys. I don't think the Cowboys are a bad team. I don't think they're exposed. I think they had a bad day. I think the Cowboys are still a really good team. I don't know if they're a top 5 team in the league, but they're very close. So we have a very tough schedule. Got to beat Seattle. I mean, worst case scenario, we finished 2-4 in the first 6 games, and then you play the Commanders and the Jets. They're 2 games that I think we can win. We would be 4-4 at that point. And then you kind of schedule gets a little easier outside of playing the Eagles twice. We just got to kind of stay in the loop. We can't be 1-5. You know what I mean? That cannot happen. The Giants got to find a way to win in the trenches. I put that on Twitter today. By the way, follow me on Twitter if you haven't. I'm trying to get to 8,000 followers. We're close. We're like 7960. So I'm like 40 followers away from having that. The link to my Twitter and Instagram are both in the comment section, or I'm sorry, in the not the comment section, the description. And like I said, I've been very active on Twitter. It's football season, so I'm very active on Twitter during football season. So follow me there. And I like to talk my trash there. I like to talk some trash on Twitter. It's kind of fun. But hope everybody's doing well, man. Triple Crown Media, Justice's dad, Manny in. My guy Manny, he's a Commanders fan. He's ready for tomorrow. Amazing guy, Christopher Moran. What's going on, buddy? Arctic in the house, Raiden Burst, Mickey X, Tommy B. How y'all doing? Afghanistan, the main man's in the house. Dave is a beastly, long time no see. Campbell Harris is in the house. Campbell Harris, quite frankly, I see what you did there, Campbell Harris. I see it. You know, you can't sneak one past your Trump dog, frankly. You know, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan to say the least. You know, she's weak. She's weak, people. She's not smart, quite frankly. Pa Ensma, Dan DeFusco, Video Games, W, Johnny Cage, Johnny Perez, Helen and me. Appreciate y'all being here. Yeah, man, tomorrow's going to be fun. I want you guys to come in there, super friends, blow it up. No question about it. Also, I saw some people before the stream say, let's go Lakers. The Lakers begin preseason October 7th against the Golden State Warriors. And have no fear, people. I'll be there. I'm going to do as many of those preseason games as I can. I do believe the first night is October 24th, and they play the Nuggets, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll be live. Again, Laker basketball's coming. This channel gets extremely busy in October. Between a lot of times we have the Yankee playoffs. That's not happening this year, as they're not in the playoffs for the first time in a few years. But I have Giants football, Giants content, obviously Giants live streams with me, Chris. And then, of course, you know, we do the one with Patty Traina. And, of course, there'll be tons of Laker basketball. So the winter's coming. It's a good time. I mean, I hate the winter, but it's a good time for me to be very busy on the channel because what the hell am I going to do? You don't go outside when it's 19 degrees and it's, you know, got 25-mile-an-hour winds and it's sleeting and snowing and it's shitty and it's dark. What do? You go to the gym and you come home and you vegetate. So it's a good time to be on YouTube and doing all the stuff. I'm excited to be calling the Lakers for the sixth. This is my sixth season calling the Lakers. Sixth. The time flies. I mean, some of the guys and girls that have been in here, I don't know if they're in here now, but they were with me since the days of the casting couch, which is amazing. I was thinking about it the other day because, you know, I watch Uncle Lou. I like Uncle Lou a lot. He's my guy. And I was watching, you know, he does all the college football games. He does a lot of college football games on Saturdays. It's his thing. He's a college football channel, really good. Big fan of Uncle Lou, always have been. And he stands all day. And it got me thinking, I was like, you know, I remember when I used to stand over there near the bar and live stream, just kind of hang out and live stream. And then I remember I kind of moved the computer over to the table over there and watched the TV over here while I sat on my couch. People started calling it the casting couch. And I just streamed pretty much everything. I streamed everything. And that's when the LakerDog was born. So it's just funny to think about how far, you know, we've come, how long I've been doing this now. And couldn't do it without you guys, girls. I always say it, and I can't say it enough, how grateful I am for each and every one of you that has made this channel what it is, that has given me the opportunity to speak my mind, that listens to me rant and rave and talk my shit and get humbled and whatever else goes on during live streams or videos or whatever. But I always have fun doing it, man. It's a lot of fun. I love talking sports. I always have. And of course, calling games, man. It is, you know, it's been a dream of mine. I never obviously fulfilled the dream, but this was the closest thing I had to it. And I don't need to leave the comfort of my own home. You know, I'm allowed to I can be completely biased and I can call the games and I can have a lot of fun and I can say stuff like 420 crew, you know, to do, smoke them because you got them. Can't say that on ESPN. But I do appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you guys and girls for hanging out with me. And of course, I appreciate my members. Toba, thank you for being a member for 6 months. He says, let's bounce back, F Dave Brown. So the Dave Brown thing was a joke. Dave Brown never actually said that. He was mocking Joe Namath. That's what that was. That was not a real interview. Joe Namath pretty much said that exact thing about Zach Wilson. So they just messed around and said Dave Brown said it about Daniel Jones. It wasn't real. And when I saw it on Twitter, I'm like, there's no way this is real. And it turned out that it wasn't. So I was going to say Dave Brown would never say that about Daniel Jones. I'm like, do they even talk to Dave Brown? Does anybody even know who Dave Brown is? I mean, if you're a Giants fan that's been around as long as I have, you know who he is. But the people that have only saw Eli probably don't know who he is. If they only heard him, they didn't have the pleasure of watching him suck every Sunday. But that was a big reason why a lot of Giants fans did not want a Duke quarterback, because Dave Brown came from Duke, and Dave Brown was terrible, and Dave Brown wore number 17 for the Giants. And, of course, Daniel Jones wore number 17 at Duke. Daniel Jones is head and shoulders better than Dave Brown ever could be. We just got to get Daniel Jones some damn help, Johnny, man, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you. Really. What's up, Baddog? I'll be going to the Philadelphia for the Commanders versus Eagles. Oh, I thought it's in Philly? I thought it was in Washington. I know it was in Philly. My best friend who's an Eagles fan, hoping I can get out of there alive. You'll get out of there alive. They might call you an asshole, but I think you'll get out of there alive. I think you'll get out of there alive. They'll probably call you names, though. Just expect that. I'm rooting for you guys. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, Johnny. I'm gonna talk my shit to Louis tomorrow. He's got it coming for me. He definitely does, and he's got it coming from, I hope, a few hundred Giants fans tomorrow. He deserves that. But so even though I have my war with Commander fans on Twitter, don't get it twisted. I'm rooting for you guys Sunday. I ain't never rooting for the damn Eagles unless it helps the Giants. So I'm rooting for you guys Sunday. I'm rooting for you Sunday. Just without question. Michael, thank you for the $2. Boom! Man, appreciate it very much. Thank you so much for the $2 donation. And Divyansh, I'm just going to call you Double D because it's easier. Thank you so much for the super chat, Double D. We have a shot of beating Miami or Buffalo. I always feel like we have a shot of beating them all. But we got to play. Listen, man. If the Giants have any chance of beating Miami and Buffalo, the things that have been happening during this first 3 games cannot happen. The fundamental things, the turnovers, not that they're even Daniel Jones' fault, because a lot of them are not his fault. The line has to protect better. We've got to get off the damn field on 3rd down. I mean, without question, that's freaking terrible. We got to get off the field on 3rd down. We got to tackle. We can't have all these damn penalties, no false starts, no turnovers. And we got to substitute better. I mean, this is ridiculous. So if we have a chance, if we're going to beat them, we have to play good, almost perfect. Because Miami and Buffalo are better than we are. Let's be honest. And when you're going against teams that are better than you, you must execute. And I know that's a Joe Judge term. And I hate quoting Joe Judge, but I do it often. But Joe Judge was correct, and pretty much that's any coach's mantra: execute. Execute. I put on Twitter today, I'm like, I think the Giants have to start taking some shots. They got to go deep. People are like, well, Daniel Jones has no time, and I understand that. Daniel Jones does not have the most time. Daniel Jones's protection is not great, but it's like a baseball player. You're going to get a pitch to hit or 2 pitches to hit every at bat. It's your job to hit them. Daniel Jones is not under duress every time he drops back. There are deep plays to be had at some point in these games. Okay, now I don't break down film. I'm not the guy that sits there and circles wide open guys and all this stuff on Twitter. Like, oh, look at he missed that, because that's like me saying, oh, the guy missed a fastball. I mean, it's easy to say. I couldn't hit a fastball. We don't know what Daniel Jones is looking at. We don't know where his first read is. We don't know where his second read is. That's why it's hard to break down film. You don't know where he's going, what play is called up, none of it. Okay? Has he missed throws? Yeah, I'm sure there's guys that are open. He's not the only quarterback that misses throws. I can tell you that. But we got to start making some chunk plays. We did it against Arizona. Jalen Hyatt needs more than 9 or 16 snaps, whatever the hell he had. The thing that's aggravating me about the Giants is they're not utilizing the speed. Paris Campbell ran a 4.3 140 out of college. He's averaging 4 yards a catch, man. What are we doing with Paris Campbell? Why are we not lining Paris Campbell up and having him go deep? Why are we not putting this speed on the field? Darius Slayton's also really fast. He was a 4.39 guy out of Auburn. Okay, so we have 3 guys in this team that ran, and again, I don't know what Slayton's running now because he's a little bit older, so he probably slowed up a little bit. It usually happens. But we have 3 guys coming out of college that ran a sub 4.40. Why are we not utilizing the speed? You see what speed does in Miami. It's a track meet down there. And again, I understand Daniel Jones does not have a good line. I get it, okay? And I get not having Saquon hurts us. I'm hoping Saquon can play on Monday. They say he's day-to-day. Hopefully Andrew Thomas comes back. I don't expect Barkley to be back. I do think Thomas will play because there was talk about he might play against San Fran, and now he has an 11-day rest. I think we're going to see him. Barkley, I don't know. Aziz, I just don't count on Aziz. I hope he plays, but I certainly don't. I don't ever count on him. I hope not. Christopher, thank you so much, man. My favorite, my second favorite drop. The Wu-Tang one's my favorite because that's a bag if somebody drops that. But I love this. Thank you so much, Christopher. He says, Baddog, what do you think about the Namath comments? So that's, the Namath comments are pretty much what they were joking around about Dave Brown. Listen, Zach Wilson ain't it. He's not it. And I mean, that's, it is what it is. If the Jets thought Zach Wilson was good, they would have never went out and signed Aaron Rodgers. And this is why with Daniel Jones, again, I've been critical of Daniel Jones. I'm not going to act like I was on board with him the whole time. But it's hard to find a good quarterback. The Jets have had 3 quarterbacks drafted in the top 5 since 2009, and none of them lasted into a second contract. Not a one of them. So it is difficult to find that guy. So not a lot of quarterbacks get the second contract. Daniel Jones did. People don't like that he did, but I don't know what the other options were. And I saw people saying, "Hey, the Giants could have gotten linemen, but where were you gonna get linemen from, man? They're not available. Like top tier linemen don't get away from their teams. You got to draft those guys. We've had a hard time drafting those guys, or a hard time coaching those guys, whatever the hell it is. It's been a difficult road to hoe to build an offensive line here. McKeithen has looked pretty good. JMS is certainly getting better. Hopefully Andrew Thomas is healthy, and hopefully Evan Neal figures it out. But so far that's just not the case. And, I understand. I don't think Zach Wilson's the guy. I mean, there's all kinds of things about the Jets trading for another quarterback. I don't know. I understand where Namath is coming from. Zach Wilson's not very good. He's not. Again, you have one. He played 1 year. 1 year. And the Jets say, to hell with you. We want Aaron Rodgers for 3 years. So it's not like he came in like, well, we're just going to have Zach Wilson sit for a season. And, Aaron Rodgers is going to come in here and then we'll play him. He was relegated to a backup, and you see why. He's not good at all. So I understand Namath's comments about, and Namath is a pimp. I love Joe Namath. Absolute pimp. But Tommy says, when do we start? Listen, you've heard me. You've heard me this year. So the coaching's got to get better. I don't know if I said that I'm pretty sure I said that right after the San Francisco game in my post game, that the coaches have not done a good job. I know I said it in one video. They haven't. Coaches have not been good this year. That was a strong suit last year, but you see the substitution issues, miscommunications, the play calling. There's the controversy. Is Is Kafka calling the plays? Is Dable calling the plays? Well, Dable was calling the plays in the second half of the Arizona game, and we saw the offense open up, and Dable says it wasn't him. Dable says it was Kafka. You got to take chances. You can't become so predictable. The Giants are so predictable, and the reason I wanted them to take shots against San Francisco is because you're not going to have extended drives against San Fran. You're just not. Especially with the Giants, especially without Barkley, especially without Thomas. You had to try to hit on some chunk plays down the field. They never attempted it. And again, I understand he had pressure, but he doesn't have pressure every single time. There's some plays Daniel Jones dropped back and like he's dead. But there's also times where there is time to locate. And Daniel Jones has to do a better job of that. They paid him this money, not for what he has done, but what they feel that he could improve upon. So, yeah, I get the offensive line sucks, and I get that Barkley was hurt, and I am not knocking Daniel Jones here at all. I've said this before. I'm not debating the Daniel Jones thing. I criticized Daniel Jones before. I felt like my criticism of him was warranted, and then last year he made a believer out of me. And I'm not going to sit here and say he's not the guy because I do think Daniel Jones can lead this team to victories. I do. But he needs to get better. He needs to start playing with the swagger and the confidence that he played with last season. And I hope that losing 40-0 to Dallas opening night didn't hurt their confidence. It certainly could hurt your confidence. It can humble you. It's your first game of the year. You're on national television. You get humiliated. But then you come back and you have an epic comeback against Arizona, and you're like, we're going to build on this. And then they go against San Francisco. And again, I mean, I get it. San Francisco, in my opinion, is the best team of football, but there was nothing that scared them. And they even said that. I was going to do a video about how San Francisco, said, oh, Daniel Jones is playing scared. And we knew he wasn't going to do this. We knew he wasn't going to do that. And yeah, I get it. I can't get mad at anything they said. I mean, he did everything they said that they were going to do. They made sure he couldn't run. They took his legs away, which is a big weapon. And, he missed a couple throws to Darren Waller. Yeah, Waller could have caught him, but the throws were a little off. And that's what I mean. It's just those little things. Like last year, those little things went our way. So far this year, those little things have not gone our way. Daniel Jones misses a throw by that much. Daniel Jones throws a perfect pass. It bounces off a guy's hands. It gets picked off. You know what I mean? Daniel Jones might have thrown a pass that was a little off, high, low, left, right, but the receiver would have came down with it last year. This year, if Daniel Jones misses it by a little bit, the guy's not coming up with the pass. Or when Daniel Jones does put it there, the guy's knocking it up in the air and it's getting intercepted. So things that kind of broke our way last year when we were beating teams like the Packers and the Ravens, that type of stuff's not happening this year, not so far. So it's a team effort. I'll never understand. Well, I do. People want to rip Daniel Jones. And, I watched Tim's video today about Xavier McKinney. I'll talk about that too. And Tim's right. He mentioned this, that a lot of people that are criticizing Daniel Jones only know about Eli Manning. And it's not easy to always hit on a quarterback. You're going to miss sometimes. I don't believe they missed with Daniel Jones. I have confidence in Daniel Jones. I do. I think Daniel Jones physically can do this. I've seen him do it. I know he can do it. He's got all the skills to do it. Physically, he's incredibly gifted. Is he elite? No. Will he ever be? No. But top 10, he's got that type of talent, in my opinion. But if he doesn't, and they missed, it happens. Like we talked about, look at the Jets. How easy the Jets have had 3 top 5 picks where they took a quarterback in the last 15 years. None of them got to a second contract. Ask the Bears how easy it is. They're finding out that the Bears fans are killing Justin Fields, and it's about time because Justin Fields isn't good. He's not good. Ask Washington. Now, Sam Howell's only played a few games. Yeah, I busted on Sam Howell. I don't think Sam Howell's anything special. Maybe he's going to be. Maybe he won't. I don't think he is right now, okay? But ask them. When's the last time they had a franchise quarterback? Not everybody's Green Bay. Not everybody hits on the quarterback every time they draft it. Okay? Ask Indianapolis after Andrew Luck retired. It's not easy. A lot of teams don't hit on any of them. So, I have confidence in Daniel Jones, but we need a better team. It's not just him, is my point. Does he have something to do with it? Yes. I'm not excusing him if he throws a bad pass or he plays poorly. I'm not excusing him. Oh, Daniel Jones, it ain't Daniel Jones. He's part of it. He's part of the team. You win as a team, you lose as a team. What I don't like, though, is when everything I read on Twitter or I see on social media or YouTube or ESPN, Daniel Jones and the Giants get humiliated. Daniel Jones and the Giants lose. But when they win, it doesn't say Daniel Jones leads epic comeback against Arizona. It says Giants have biggest comeback since 1949 against the Chicago. Why don't they give him credit when he wins? They're certainly quick to criticize him when he loses or when the Giants lose. They want to blame him everything. Oh, his contract. Daniel Jones is the 13th highest paid quarterback in the league, for crying out loud. He only has $80 million guaranteed. He can probably get out after next year if they want to. $80 million guaranteed is nothing for a quarterback. He can get paid elite money. Look at how bad Joe Burrow is this year. Joe Burrow sucks. I don't know what the hell happened to Cincinnati. But look at their players. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon. Where the hell's that offense? Joe Burrow just got $275 million. I don't see ESPN saying, Joe Burrow got paid way too much. Yeah, Joe Burrow's had success. What he done in the past, does that matter this year? Now, they may get it together. I know Joe Burrow hasn't been completely healthy. But my point is, nobody kills Joe Burrow. He's making a lot more than Daniel Jones. Nobody kills Deshaun Watson. He's making a lot more than Daniel Jones. Rusty Productions saying, my friend. I don't know. When we do the show with Patty this week, Patty will tell us everything we need to know about the health of the players. I always trust her. Obviously, she has inside information about what's going on. She gets to interview the coaches and ask them questions, and Joe Shane, and so we'll talk to Patty as we get close. As we get towards the end of the week and we get closer to the game. I'll probably have a better idea of what is going on. I'm hoping that Andrew Thomas is healthy. I would think he would be, and I also think Bredesen should be cleared of concussion protocol, but I'm not sure. My guy, Toasty, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Giants trivia. Here we go. Who's the only player to pick up a pass by Eli Manning in the Super Bowl? I don't remember who that was. It went off Steve Smith's hands, and I don't remember who it was. Son of a bitch. Second question, who are the three Giants quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame? Y.A. Tittle's in the Hall of Fame. Fran Tarkenton's in the Hall of Fame. Is Connerly in the Hall of Fame? Is he in the Hall of Fame? Is he in the Hall of Fame? Is that the guy? I don't know. Those are my guesses, though. Tarkenton. I know Tarkenton and Tittle are in the Hall of Fame. Charlie Connerly would be my other guess. God, I can't. I'm going to say it's Asante Samuel. I know Samuel had a chance to pick one off in there and he didn't, but I'm just going to say Asante Samuel because it's the only Patriot cornerback I can think of. So, but it's going to be. I'm pretty sure it's Connerly, Tittle, and Tarkenton are the three Giants quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame. BBD, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the super chat. You still a man, but how can I be the man when you the man? My guy BBD, he's an absolute legend. Big shout out to Big Ball Daddy. If you ain't subscribed to my guy Big Ball Daddy, do yourself a favor. Subscribe to Big Ball Daddy. Your BBD, man, I want you to start calling some more Tennessee basketball games because I always loved your calls of those. BBD is one of the funniest guys on here. Dry pan humor. Sarcastic humor. It's my favorite. I love it. I hope you're doing well, buddy. My guy BBD. And my guy BBD is tough as a $2 steak.
My man has had limbs amputated. He's fought off death a number of times. The man is like I said, he's tougher than shoe leather, this guy. Toughest dude that I know. Big shout out to BBD. He's the freaking man. Divyansh, thank you for the super chat. The Jets get top 3 pick. Yeah, they might take a quarterback because Zach Wilson will be in his 3rd year. Whatever. He's gone. Now Aaron Rodgers is still going to be there, but it's very possible that they do, and that quarterback sits behind Aaron Rodgers for a year and then becomes quarterback. That could be anybody. That could be Caleb Williams will probably go first. Michael Penix is going to be up there. Drake May is a guy that could be up there. Cam Ward is a guy that could be up there. Really good quarterbacks. They're all in the Pac-12, except for Drake May. He plays for North Carolina, but those other 4 mentioned are all in the Pac-12. Cam Ward plays for Washington State. Michael Penix plays for Washington. And if you haven't watched, I've been saying this for 2 years. You guys that have been following me for that long, I've been touting Michael Penix for 2 years. Also Caleb Williams since he was a freshman at Oklahoma. But Michael Penix, Washington is one of the best teams in college football. And I think they're underrated. That USC-Washington game is going to be really good. And I think the winner of that, well, they're probably going to meet up again in the Pac-12. Well, I don't know. They wouldn't play in the Pac-12 championship, I don't think. But the Pac-12 is tough. I don't know if you're going to get a Pac-12 playoff team because they got to run through Oregon. They got to run through Utah, USC, Washington State. They're all good. They're all good. But if you have a one-loss Pac-12 championship team, they're probably making the postseason. And I think Washington can win the Pac-12. But that game on November 4th, if you guys want to look at a couple of really good quarterbacks, there's your game. Caleb Williams versus Michael Penix. And USC's got no defense. Michael Penix could throw for 500 yards in that game. For real. He's really, really good, man. I really like Michael Penix a lot. The dude just effortlessly slings the ball around. It's amazing. Caleb Williams is just an incredible athlete, quarterback, like everything. He's smart. He's the best. I freaking love Caleb Williams. Will, thank you for a super chat. He says, Baddog, you're the Joe Beningo, but for the Giants fans, you have the most epic rants. Yeah, I try not to cut Tiki Barber off, though. I try not to cut him off. But yeah, Joe Beningo's had some good rants. I actually used to listen to, years ago, I used to listen to, this is when I had my YouTube channel, like in 2007. And I ran a supply warehouse. I used to, this is before, like we're talking early 2000s when it was first happening with the internet, where you could stream radio stations. I used to stream WFAN all day, and I would listen to Beningo and Roberts. I never liked Evan Roberts. I still don't like Evan Roberts. I think Evan Roberts sucks. Joe Beningo, he kind of grew on me. I'm not the biggest Beningo fan, but I liked him a lot better than Roberts. I don't listen to WFAN for Mike and the Mad Dog. That was really what I listened to. But Beningo and Roberts, I could take them. They were pretty good. They were okay. Like I could listen to them. I could have them on in the background and just kind of listening to what they were saying. But yeah, man, I was more of a Mike and the Mad Dog guy for sure. Big Moo. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. I appreciate it, of course.
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being a legend. Big Moo. Warner is in the Hall of Fame. Charlie Connerly's not a Hall of Famer. Ellis Hobbs got I wouldn't have got Ellis Hobbs. Charlie Connerly's not a Hall of Famer, though. Or is Wyatt Tittle not a Hall of Famer? Let's see. Wyatt Tittle. He's in the Hall of Fame. Maybe Charlie Connerly's not in the Hall of Fame. Because obviously, Fran Tarkenton is. Charlie Connerly's on the college Football Hall of Fame, but not. He's in the Giants Ring of Honor. His number was retired. He won the championship at 56, two-time Pro Bowler, but not a Hall of Famer. Okay. Kurt Warner, I wouldn't have even thought about. Totally forgot about Kurt Warner because he played 9 games for us. But yeah. Yes, Raziel, you need to smack the like. Smack that like button, ring the bell, all that good crap. Keys of victory Monday night. It's pretty easy. I mentioned it earlier. The Giants can't make mistakes. The Giants have to have some chunk plays. They have to at least play even at the line of scrimmage. No stupid penalties, no turnovers. Giants have to execute. They have not executed the first 3 games. They have to do better than that. They have to force some turnovers on defense. We haven't forced 1 turnover on defense. I think we have 2 sacks all year. That's not good enough. People can blame the offense, and I know the offense has not been good either. But the defense needs to play better. The defense needs to play better. When your offense is struggling, defense has to make some plays. They got to tackle. They got to get pressure on the quarterback. They have to force turnovers. They have to intercept it. They had chances. They had chances to get Brock Purdy, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it. I think the Giants can win Monday. I do. Now, Seattle can play. Okay. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, JSN, Kenneth Walker. They got a damn good offense. So, but I'll be honest, man. I'm sick of these primetime games, man. They get over late. I do the post-game video. It's totally throwing off my schedule of doing like reaction videos to Brian Dable, the day after. I didn't even do one this week because it was Thursday night. I'm like, I'm not going to put up a video on a Saturday. I'm not home on a Saturday. Either that or I just want to watch college football. Like, it's rare that I'm on YouTube during the day on a Saturday, especially when the weather's nice. I don't want to be inside when the weather's nice during a Saturday. I want to be out. I just don't want to be in here because I know that winter's on the way and I know I'm going to be stuck inside for months. And you get that old cabin fever. I didn't want it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it, man. Wink sucks. I don't know if it's Wink. The talent has to. The players got to do stuff. The players got to tackle. Like, people can say they don't like Wink's scheme and Wink this and Wink that, but Wink can't tackle. Wink's not the guy out there getting run over by Deebo Samuel. Wink's not the guy allowing 3rd down and 15 conversions on screen passes and swing passes. So, does he have a part in it? Sure. The coaches are always going to get the blame when a unit is failing, but it's not Wink's fault that they don't tackle. They got to tackle. That's something that the players have to do. They have to make a play. They do. I would like to say Wink still bringing a lot of pressure. The issue is when the Giants do bring pressure, they're still not getting there, and they can't get there with their front 4. That's a big problem. Like, they can't get pressure when they don't blitz. And you look at Kayvon Thibodeau, you look at Leo, you look at Dexter Lawrence. Why the hell why can't those 3 get pressure? Why? Got to tackle. Wink had part. Listen, every single person, every single coach, every single player, from the number 1 guy to the number 53 guy, they all have a part in the slow start. They all have a part in this. All of them. But at the end of the day, these players are the ones that need to execute. And they need to make the plays, and they're there to be made. Last year, they were making them. So far, they have not, outside of 1/2 in Arizona. They've got to be able to get turnovers. They've got to be able to tackle. They can't have these pass interference or illegal contact penalties on 3rd and 11. Like, those are killers. Can't have that stuff. And that's plagued them the entire year. It started from the very first drive They're going right down the field against Dallas. They're running the ball. Looks like, hey, look at this. We were right. Here come the Giants. His offense is clicking. They look good. 3rd and 2 from the 10. False start. 3rd and 7. Now, instead of Dallas trying to figure out, is Daniel Jones going to run for the first down? Are they going to give it to Barkley for the first down? Is Daniel Jones going to pass? What are the Giants going to do down here? 3rd and 2, every play in the playbook is open. 3rd and 7, obvious passing situation. Has to go out of the shotgun now. Wet ball, wet turf, bad snap, 15-yard loss. Next play, block kick, touchdown. If that false start, again, this is the fallacy of the predetermined outcome. But if that false start by Andrew Thomas does not happen, that could have been a totally different ball game. And then this is when, after that happened, this is when the coaching staff screwed up. Because you saw Arizona run the ball down Dallas's throat. The first drive, we ran the ball extremely effectively, and then they stopped. You can't get away from what brought you to the dance. You got to run Saquon Barkley against Dallas. You got to keep the ball away from Dallas. You ran the ball extremely effectively. You were down 1 score. There was no reason to panic and start winning the ball all over the field, especially when you saw that they couldn't protect them. They got away even too early. That was on the coaching staff. But it's just those little things that the Giants did not do last year that allowed them to win these close games, as opposed to they're not as good as Dallas. They're not as good as San Francisco. And then on top of it, they turn the ball over and they have penalties and they can't get off the field on 3rd down. The special teams has been bad. The special teams was bad in a couple of those, in the Dallas game especially. If you add that on top of everything, they lead to blowouts. You just gotta put the Giants just have to do. They have to do the little things. It'd be nice to have some extravagant things, but they're not even doing the basic things right now. Way too many penalties. Did not see that last year. Did not see substitution issues the way they're doing it this year, where the play clock's running down. I got to take a timeout, or they're hurrying to the line of scrimmage. Like Chris even called it on the 1 touchdown in the corner. He's like, they're not ready on defense. They're not ready to take a timeout. They didn't. They got burned. They weren't even ready for the play. Total confusion. And I don't understand how this happens. Yet all preseason, this is the same system that was there last year. Where the hell is the confusion? It's not the first year under the system. These guys should know it. There's some new pieces. But come on, man. That's what training camp is for. That's what preseason is for. We should not be trying to figure out the playbook and all this the substitutions and all this other stuff 3rd week of the season. Like that should not be happening. That's bad preparation. That's on the coaches. Just it is what it is, man. Savannah Garaju, I hope I said that right. He says, I think Kafka is calling the plays, like keeping the team in his advantage. San Francisco looks exactly the first half of Arizona. Yeah, I agree. Now, we don't know who called the plays. I'm pretty sure most Giants fans think it was Dave Bowl in the second half of the game. But you're right. There was no creativity. There was no deep shots. There was nothing. It was all inside of 6 yards. And, of course, without Saquon Barkley, that was going to be – but they didn't even try to run the ball. They run it 9 times in that game. Matt Breida have 9 carries. Like, that isn't enough. You got to try. You can't become one-dimensional and then on 3rd and 11 throw a 2-yard out. All these throws perpendicular to the line of scrimmage. Like I said, Paris Campbell's averaging 4 yards a catch. What the hell is that? How do you not draw better plays for Paris Campbell? You're right, Savannah. I mean, Kafka's got to get creative and scheme these guys open. Scheme Daniel Jones away from pressure. That's your job as a coach. Well, the offensive line struggles here. Well, we got to scheme it so that we can do it here. I don't like Paris Campbell. I mean, it's like Jason Garrett is calling his plays. Just run a 3-yard post. Run a 4-yard skinny. Run a 4-yard in. Can we get Paris Campbell down the field? Can we get him on? Listen, though, I understand, man, those long crossing routes, those drag routes, they take a long time. So you would need something. But can we get Paris Campbell on a quick slant? Something. An out and up. Throw the ball deep. Use his speed. Something. Anything. But the difference was you saw when the Giants complete underneath. You see when the Giants complete underneath, the opposing team comes up and makes the tackles. When somebody completes underneath against the Giants, it's not happening. It's not happening. Air, thank you for the super chat. He says, I don't know if I can watch Sunday's football. The slander will be bad. I don't know what FSEPs is tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, the slander is always going to be bad. The slander is always bad on the Giants. When Christian McCaffrey said Daniel Jones don't take criticism, like, what are you talking about? Daniel Jones stays taking criticism all the time. All the time. So I don't know. They figured it out last year. Again, Dallas, San Francisco, the 2 year better teams. But what's disappointing is that we weren't close to them. And that's the thing. We're not close. We didn't get any closer. It looked like we got farther away. We're not competing with those teams. That's the disappointment. That's the disappointment. That they're not competing. They're getting blown out. Okay. That's the disappointing aspect of what's going on there. So he's got to do a better job, man. It's been bad. Breida had 4 carries for 17 yards. So the Giants only had 9 carries as a team. That's what I was thinking of. I don't understand. And yeah, throw the ball to Hyatt. I said that before the game. I put it on Twitter. Let the kid eat. Let him eat. Put him in there. Give us a spark. He's a deep threat. He's fast as shit. Put him out there and let him run. Put him out there and throw the ball up to him. Okay? Put it up there and throw the ball down the field. If Daniel Jones is going to throw an interception, I'd rather him throw an interception 50 yards down the field as opposed to 5 yards in front of the line of scrimmage. I'd rather have high risk, high reward than high risk, low reward, which is what a lot of those passes are into traffic in the middle of the field, 4 yards away from the line of scrimmage. I don't like that. I don't like that play calling. I didn't like it when Joe Judge and Jason Garrett were here, and I don't like it. I don't care who's calling it. I don't understand why the Giants' offense looks the damn same year in and year out, whether it was Eli at the end of his career, whether it was Pat Shermer calling the plays for Daniel Jones, or it's Joe Judge or Jason Garrett or Freddie Kitchens, Mike Kafka, Brian Dable. Like, why is it the same every year, although the coaching changes? Because it's Daniel Jones. Eli did that stuff at the end of his career. Throw it deep. Make a defender make a play. You might get a pass interference. If you get a 40-yard penalty, it's as good as a 40-yard completion. It might not count for your fantasy football stats, but who gives a damn? 40 yards is 40 yards. When your offense is struggling, you need something. You need a spark. That's it. That's it. That's all. So that's it. That's all. In the last 36 games, Daniel Jones hasn't thrown back-to-back. Who cares? Statistics. He's won one less playoff game than Dak Prescott has. Who gives a shit? Who cares? Who cares? How many Super Bowls has Dak Prescott won? As many as Daniel Jones, right? How many playoff games has Dak Prescott won? 2. Daniel Jones has won 1. Dak Prescott's had some of the best talent in the league around him for 8 years. And he can't get to the NFC Championship game? Dallas hasn't been to the NFC Championship game in 28 years? And then just lost to a team that both Washington and the Giants beat? Wow. Just wow. Statistics don't matter if your team don't win. Ask Justin Herbert. Ask Justin Herbert. What the hell is Dak Prescott won? Dak Prescott led the league in interceptions last year. Does it matter? Come on. Who cares about statistics? Daniel Jones won a damn playoff game. There was a lot of quarterbacks with better statistics than Daniel Jones last year. But there was a lot of those quarterbacks that didn't make the postseason. I'm sure the NFL, I'll tell you what, I'm not thrilled about it. I hate them primetime games. I really do. I hate them because I always have to work the next day. I hate those damn games. So like they play them on a Friday or Saturday night where I can sleep in the morning. God, Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night, I gotta go to work. I gotta go to work the next day, every day. You know. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Afghanistan says if DJ sucks ass, Dak sucks ass to a straw. Way more talent around him just to be a regular season quarterback and melt in the postseason. That's a fact. Been in the league 3 more years. DJ has one more playoff win. Yeah. Daniel Jones never had the offensive line Dak Prescott had. Daniel Jones never had a guy like Amari Cooper. Daniel Jones never had a guy like CeeDee Lamb or Jason Witten. He didn't have any of that stuff. Ever. He still doesn't. But he has one less playoff win than Dak Prescott does. So it is what it is. And you're right. If Dak played here, he'd be 0-3. There's not a question. Because he already lost to Arizona. And Dak Prescott playing behind our line against Dallas' defense, he ain't doing shit. No quarterback was doing anything in that game against Dallas. Oh, listen, I know, man. I hear. You know what? I said I was going to react to some videos. I'll show you guys this. Where's my there we go here. My old freaking there you go, watch this. My old what's this? I don't need that. My old my old intro. My old intro. What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Baddog back with another New York Giants video. Happy Saturday to everybody out there. Hope you're having a great day. Hey, look, I actually did a video on a Saturday. See? Once in a while, I guess I did do videos on a Saturday. But when did I do this? February? April 10th. I did it April 10th. Must have been crappy out. But there you go. April 10th, we did this one. By the way, this was Micah Parsons being mocked to the Giants, just in case you're wondering. My kid's birthday party. But I should be back for the Lakers and the Nets tonight at 8:15. Not going to miss that. Should be a great game. I want to do a quick video here about Micah Parsons and the New York Giants. You know, this is the time of year when the draft is rapidly approaching that so many NFL football fans, we have such a good time. There's so much speculation. There's so many different mock drafts that come out there. Because there's so many different scenarios for all these teams. There's trade rumors. There's all these needs. There's a bunch of different things. And for us NFL fans, the NFL draft is like NFL Christmas. Everybody's waiting to see who that new toy is under the tree, man. Who are we going to get in this year's draft? We're going to get excited. You know, Chris and I covered this event last year, all 3 days. And Chris and I will have all the Giants coverage that you want. We will be covering the draft all 3 days again this year.
Hopefully you guys will tune in for that. We'll have a lot of fun. We did last year. And it's going to be fun being a New York Giants fan this year, no doubt, because obviously at number 11, we have a lot of flexibility. But a lot of analysts make 5 to 10 to 15 mock drafts. And again, that's because there's so many different scenarios. And I always equate NFL mock drafts to the weather here in the Northeast. If you don't like it, wait like 15, 20 minutes. It will change. And that's pretty much what's happened here with the New York Giants. When the mock drafts began, even after the Giants signed Kenny Golladay, many analysts and mock drafts had the highest percentage of the Giants taking Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith. It was a wide receiver.
For the record, I said Jalen Waddle was the best receiver in that draft class. And obviously, we know the Giants were going to take Devontae Smith had the Eagles not traded up and taken him away from us.
There's a lot of mock drafts that have them taking Rashawn Slater. And I'd be fine with both of those. But now...
And yeah, there's no Rashawn Slater. Dave Gettleman decided not to go that direction. But now we're going to start talking about Micah Parsons. So there are Cowboy fans in here. This is before the draft. This is what I said about Micah Parsons. And anybody that's watching this, again, this is from April 2021. So this is before he's drafted. If you can't figure out how much I thought about Micah Parsons, if you don't know what I thought about Micah Parsons coming out of college, you're about to find out right now.
The trend is in the last group of mock drafts, the highest percentage of mock drafts now have Micah Parsons going to the New York Giants at number 11. It's ironic because Micah Parsons wore number 11. I'm not going to say that he's Lawrence Taylor, but he is the same size as LT, 6'3", 245, which is kind of ironic. But Micah Parsons is the guy that is now being mocked to the Giants the most. Listen, I have said before, I've said it a number of times, I'm a Kyle Pitts guy. I want the Giants to draft Kyle Pitts. That is the guy. I will not waver from that. That's the guy that I want number 1. The likelihood of Kyle Pitts being there at number 11 is about as likely as me getting a job in the NFL. So probably not going to happen. Okay.
Went 4th.
If Kyle Pitts ain't there, I want Micah Parsons. This is the guy that I want. All right. You guys know I'm a defensive guy. I will not be upset if they go Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith or Rashawn Slater. Definitely will not be upset with that whatsoever. Okay.
And go
I know there's people that
right?
want another receiver. I know there's people that want line. I know Giants fans want everything. And we should. We should want everything. We want to win. So we want what's best for our team. So I understand that people are going to say, no, we got to protect Daniel Jones. No, we need to get Daniel Jones another weapon. I understand that. Our linebacking core is okay. Blake Martinez had a very nice year. Carter Coughlin, Cam Brown, Tay Crowder, they all had nice moments for the Giants. Lorenzo Carter's shown potential. Zemenis has shown potential. O'Shane Zemenis has shown potential. They can't stay healthy. They haven't really lived up to their potential. So outside of Blake Martinez, do we really have a solid linebacker? Micah Parsons is a game changer at the linebacker position. I know that a lot of Giants fans we need an edge rusher. Micah Parsons isn't an edge rusher. He's a good third down blitzer, but he's not an edge rusher where he's going to rush on every down. Micah Parsons, to me, is a perfect fit for the New York Giants. You want to talk about a team that had not a ton of talent on it on the defensive side of the football and lost some of their really good players. Again, we got stuck with Isaac Yianum at cornerback 2. Xavier McKinney was hurt most of the year. No Lorenzo Carter. No O'Shane Zemenis. And this Giants team was still near the top 10 in defense, near the top 10 in sacks. I don't exactly know where they finished, but for a while I know they were top 10 in both. Patrick Graham has done such an amazing job with this defense. Can you imagine him having a guy like Micah Parsons at the linebacking spot and all the things that he could do with a Micah Parsons? See, I get excited when I think about that because I grew up in the 80s. I grew up with the Lawrence Taylors, the Carl Bankses, the Harry Carsons, the Leonard Marshalls, the Jim Burts. I grew up in that era. I grew up in an era of Giants football where they smashed you in the mouth. They had a great offensive line. They ran the ball down your throat, and they kicked your ass on defense. And even in 2007, that was their game. In 2011, Eli Manning should have won the MVP. We know that. Eli Manning pretty much carried the Giants that year. That was the one year of the 4 Super Bowls that I saw the Giants win where it wasn't really based on running the ball. The defense, even though it wasn't really ranked high, was injured most of the year. And when they got in the playoffs, they were healthy, and the defense dominated. The Giants have always been about defense my entire life. Micah Parsons gives them that guy. Micah Parsons is the guy, in my opinion, who takes the Giants from a very good defense to an elite defense. To me, he's that kind of talent. I like that people are projecting him there. I understand that he's had some off-the-field issues. I get it that he was involved in some things. You would hope a guy like Joe Judge could change that. Now, I know, listen, DeAndre Baker had his
Joe
issues.
Judge.
And to me, that could be an issue with the New York Giants that they look and go, man, look at what happened beyond DeAndre Baker. We traded up to get DeAndre Baker. We don't want to lose.
I wonder if I will always wonder if that shit did not happen with DeAndre Baker. If that was something that deterred them from Micah Parsons. I will always wonder that.
Lose our 11th overall pick because Parsons has some off the field issues and he doesn't play. I guess I could ask you Giants fans, is the risk worth the reward? To me, I think it is. The more film I watch on Micah Parsons, the more, highlights and everything else I watch on this kid, I'm thinking that whatever happened to him is behind him. People do stupid things in college. You would hope that he learns from it and moves on. His talent is unbelievable. It's undeniable. Like I said, he's a game changer. I don't really care for the word generational because I swear to God, every year we hear generational. This guy's a generational guy. Well, a generation is like 15 years. How can you have a generational linebacker every year, or generational quarterback every year? I don't understand that, but it is what it is. I have heard Micah Parsons is probably the best linebacker to come out of the draft in the last 10 years. So if you want to use the word generational for Micah Parsons, it may apply. I'm a Micah Parsons guy. Obviously, analysts are believing that the Giants do want to go defense. They do want that game-changing linebacker, and that they will take the risk. And again, mock drafts, take them for what they're worth, take them for a weather report. But I like that it's trending that way. And if Kyle Pitts ain't there at number 11, you can give me number 11 from Penn State. I'll take Micah Parsons any day on this defense and watch this New York defense become what it was during their championship runs. I'm all about that. I get excited thinking about that guy playing linebacker for the New York Giants. As always, I appreciate all you guys and girls watching.
So there's no way listen, I always knew that kid was talented. And you look at what this Giants defense is now, and it's unfortunate that they let him get away. That draft will always kind of haunt us if Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau do not become what we thought they would become. The Eagles traded up and got Devontae Smith in front of us. I don't know how much of a difference Devontae Smith would have made here, but they certainly had an opportunity to get Micah Parsons. They didn't. What hurts more is that Devontae Smith went to Philadelphia, who's in our division, and Micah Parsons went to Dallas, who's in our division. And both players, especially Micah Parsons, the superstar. So it's those type of things. It's those type of misses that have put the Giants where they are today. It's those type of misses is why we've had such a rough stretch of years, because our first round picks are really having a hard time panning out. Andrew Thomas is great. He's dealing with some injuries. You don't like that. I think Daniel Jones is the guy. I still think Daniel Jones can play. I'm not wavering from that anymore. I think Daniel Jones is good enough to win here. Does he need some help? Absolutely. Without question. Does he miss throws? Absolutely. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. Is he elite? No. Is he good enough to win? Yes. I do believe he is good enough to win. Barkley, great talent, always hurt. Evan Ingram, not here anymore. DeAndre Baker, not here anymore. Dexter Lawrence, pretty good. Pretty good. Game changer? Nah. But he's a very good defensive tackle. And again, then you got Kayvon, then you got Thibodeau. They haven't lived up to that hype yet. You know, when you're a top 5 and a top 7 pick, you're supposed to come in and make an immediate impact. You're supposed to. They haven't yet. Thibodeau's shown flashes, but it's not consistent. But that's been our issue is draft picks. They're not panning out the way we need them to pan out. Some of these draft picks in the later rounds are nice players, but we're not drafting game changers. Who is a game changer on the Giants? I said this like 2 years ago. When you look at the Giants and you look at the roster, you say, who is the guy that is a game changer? Now, when Daniel Jones actually has a pocket to throw from, he can be the game changer, but he's as consistent as the offensive line is. So when the offensive line protects him, he's really good. When the offensive line is not good, he's not good. There's like no in between. Kayvon Thibodeau can have a really good game, a really good quarter, and then it's like he disappears. It's just, it's frustrating, man. As a Giants fan, it's frustrating. Epstein with a super chat. He says, as a USC hater, that defense is the funniest. Well, it's Lincoln Riley's defense. He just brought Oklahoma's football to USC. That's all it is. Lincoln Riley's never been serious about defense. He loves his offense, but he don't care about defense. The Washington USC game is going to be like a 56-45 shootout. I think Washington's going to beat USC, but because I think Washington's defense is a little bit better. Space, thank you for super chat. Nothing better than Josh Allen rant. Nailed it. What Josh Allen rant? I don't know what Josh Allen rant. The one where we took Daniel Jones? I don't know. So, that I did not see. That I did not see. What I will say about Micah Parsons is I don't like the fact that he said they played down to the competition. They don't. Championship teams don't do that. Championship players don't say that. Championship players, number one, championship teams beat the hell out of teams they're supposed to. And players, championship players don't say they played down. They just say we have to do better. They are better than us today. You don't say we played down to the level of our competition. You don't disrespect a team that just whooped your ass. You don't do that. But he hasn't gotten in trouble on the field. I mean, players say stupid things. Odell Beckham said stupid things. Players do that, especially with a microphone in their face all the time and social media everywhere now. Everybody's got a camera. Everybody's got a microphone. Everybody takes things out of context and they put it all over Twitter. And it's a totally different world than when I was growing up. So, I don't know. Was I mad that they didn't draft him? I wouldn't say I was mad. I mean, I wasn't happy. I didn't know why they traded back. I did like the fact that they got a first-round pick from the Bears because I knew the Bears were going to be shit, and they were shit. So I wouldn't say I was mad. I wanted them to take Micah Parsons, so he was there, and I wanted them to take Micah Parsons. That was the guy I wanted, but I would have totally signed up for Rashawn Slater that year. Totally. We needed linemen. We needed a defensive game changer. We thought we were getting that with Kayvon Thibodeau. And I never thought he was going to be as good as Micah Parsons, but thought he'd be more consistent. I'm not calling Kayvon a bust. I'm not there with that. Okay. But the guy's played like 17 games in his career. I'm going to give him a little bit more time, but you would want to see more consistency from a guy that was drafted 5th overall. Just got to do it. Do I think Colorado has a chance? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. USC should blow the doors off of Colorado. If you thought what Oregon did to them was bad, I will say this: Colorado will score more points against USC, but I can see USC winning that game like 63-28. I wonder how much USC is favored by in that. I think Oregon was favored by 21. USC is minus 21.5. The only thing that helps, it's at Colorado, but Colorado's defense is they're not going to stop Caleb Williams, Mario Williams. They're not stopping those guys. They give up. Oregon went down. Oregon beat the brains out with Bo Nix. Bo Nix is not Caleb Williams. USC's defense is nothing to write home about, but their offense is one of the best in college football. And if Colorado State can put up 5 touchdowns against Colorado, and Oregon was up 35-zip at the half. I don't see Colorado having a snowball's chance in hell of beating USC. USC is a proverbial championship contender. I don't like their defense, which is why I don't think they'll win a championship. They definitely have a chance to win the Pac-12. And like I said, the winner, probably the winner of Washington USC is winning the Pac-12. But I don't see USC beating Colorado. Or, I'm sorry, I don't see Colorado beating USC. I can't see that happening. USC's it's Colorado did not play anybody good those first 3 weeks. Isn't there a nice story? I've always been a big Deion Sanders fan. Happy for him. The TCU win was special. Sanders as a quarterback, he's special. But Colorado as a team, they will get better because they're with Deion Sanders there and the fact that program is improving, they're going to start to get better recruits at a high school now. They're going to start to get better talent. But much like the NFL, you have to build it. They're not where Oregon is. They're not where USC is. They're not where Washington is. They're not where Utah is. They're not where these bigger schools are. So while Colorado has some nice pieces there, the quarterback, Travis Hunter's a good player. He's a really good player. The running back's pretty good. So they have nice pieces in different parts. But their offensive line is horrendous. Their defense is terrible. So they're just not there yet. They will get better, but they're not ready, in my opinion, they're not ready to compete with USC. They're not ready to compete with Oregon, and Oregon blew the door. They're not ready to compete with Washington. They're not there yet. They're getting better. TCU, not a really good team. They're a Big 12 team. And TCU is nothing like they were. They're not even close to what they were last year. TCU, I still don't know how they got into the championship. But when they met Georgia, that game was over in the first 5 minutes. So TCU, like I said, that was a nice story. Nebraska's been terrible for years. That's a bad program. And Colorado State is horrible. And Colorado State should have beat them. So it's not ranked now, Dan. They're not ranked anymore. After the loss to Oregon, that's just they were going to fall off without question. So it is what it is. Any update on the Banks injury? I didn't even know Trey Banks was hurt. Or Tay Banks. Let's see if there's any updates. Don't see anything about his injury. Oh, no, there is. Deontay Banks is good to go. Banks told reporters during Tuesday's practice he's recovered from left arm injury, so he's good to go. He's good to go. Thomas, thank you for the super chat. He says, has the portal ruined Alabama's program? Alabama, I don't think college football, I mean, things always change. So it certainly changed things. Alabama is definitely not where they were. So I do think the portal hurt Alabama. So it hurt Oklahoma too last year without question. I don't know, since I started following Oklahoma and I became a fan in 2005. I don't know that Oklahoma ever lost 7 games in a season since I started rooting for them. I don't think that did happen. That was a really bad year. Now they lost a lot of close games last year. Their defense sucked. Now Oklahoma hasn't played anybody special either. But their defense looks way better than it did last year. Unbelievable. It's night and day. Their defense is pretty good. Stutzman is a freaking savage. He's a beast. Now, October 7th is the game for Oklahoma. They play Texas. Texas is one of the best teams in the country. In the Red River Shootout. I'm not calling it the Red River Rivalry because it is a Red River Shootout. But that's going to be a good game without question. Yeah, I agree. I think the best O-line is the Eagles. I watched them last night, and even though that game was only 3-0 after one, it felt like it was 17-0. Like the Eagle, it was never like in doubt. No matter how close that score was, you saw the Eagles were just a way better team. The Eagles are a really good team because they win at the line of scrimmage. Both sides. That's how you get into the Super Bowl. Because you have good defensive line, you have a good offensive line. As much as the game changes, winning in the trenches is where you win your football games. That's where it's won and lost. Teams that allow their quarterback to have a clear pocket to throw from, teams that can run the ball, they're going to win football games. Teams that can put pressure on opposing quarterbacks, stuff the run, get off the field on third downs, they're going to win football games. Giants can't do either, which is why they don't win a lot of football games. So they got to get better in the trend. The Giants have got to fix that. You would have thought adding Boogie Basham, adding Nacho, adding Ashawn Robinson to go with Leo and Dex and the way Jordan Riley played in the preseason, you would have thought that the Giants' defensive line got a lot better. And it hasn't. They've given up 98 points in 3 weeks. Now, granted, 13 of those points were on a pick six and a block kick for a return, but still, their defense has 2 sacks and no turnovers in 3 games. That ain't good enough. That ain't good enough. So, anyway, I just want to do a quick live stream. I appreciate you guys and girls hanging out tonight. Really appreciate it. Like I said, make sure, I wonder if I can do this. Is this, yes. Make sure you guys and girls subscribe to this channel. You want to come over there tomorrow night. You want to hang out. It's going to be awesome. Me, Lord Brunson, Louis T, Law Nation. We're going to chop it up. We're going to talk a little smack for a few hours. And I need all the Giants representation that I can get in that stream. You got to let Louis T know that Commander saying all that. Let him know that. Anyway, that's all I got. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday or Wednesday or wherever the hell you are. I don't know where you are in the world, but some places it's Tuesday, some places it's almost Wednesday. And enjoy your hump day, and I will see you tomorrow at the Super Friends channel. Have a good one, everybody.